Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
You are most welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more updates, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can also leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277128777. Thank you. Join me listening to what we have for you today. Thank you.
Randy, you see, you hit the nail right on the head when you talked about why there is this tension. The mistrust is palpable. It's something that we all see and feel as we prepare for the elections. First of all, when the Electoral Commission proposed their timetable, Randy, do you know that voter transfer was to take 2 days? That was the first proposal. 2 days was for voter transfer. I know NPP candidate who protested against the 2 days proposal for voter transfers. They protested. And then all of a sudden, I was monitoring the process because I was engaging the stakeholders and I had an interest. All of a sudden, from the proposed 2 days for transfers, it was increased to 16 days. 2 days to 16 days. That is the first, in my view, that is the first point of mistrust. Because I know NPP candidates that are even engaged who protested against the 2 days.
But what has been the
practice?
The practice.
This is the first time transfers are going beyond a week.
Really?
Yes. This is the first time that transfers.
So 16 days.
Yes.
But why do we need 16 days?
That
within
many days?
A limited registration for how many days?
For 22 days or so.
Okay.
Yes.
But for transfer of votes, we need 16 days.
Why do we need that many days for transfers? I can't understand.
Network challenges.
Whatever. But I mean, that for me it was the beginning of the mistrust. Because the question that I have asked remain unanswered. Why do we need that many days for just transfers? Because people who are minded to do their transfers really are not like people who are sometimes cajoled to go and register. If you want to do a transfer, it must be important to you, and you would have assessed that on voting day you may not be where you reside, or you would have changed location and you want. I mean, it must be important to you. So 16 days was just something I couldn't, wrap my head around. But yes, they changed the timetable to suit, in my view, some of these protests. And then you agreed that for transparency's sake, political parties be allowed to monitor the process. Yes, it may not have been part of the law. But we are also told by the lawyers that when the law is silent on something, if you do it, you have committed no crime. That's what the lawyers have told us. So there's no law that says that political parties must be allowed to monitor. But there's no law that also says that political parties must not be allowed to monitor. And we are told, I am not a lawyer, but I have heard them say that when the law is silent on a matter, if you don't do it, you commit no crime. If you do it, you commit no crime.
Loophole.
Look, so clearly there was nothing wrong with the agreement at IPAC for political parties to monitor. I think there was everything right with it, especially because it was in the interest of transparency.
If you want to enforce something, the law clearly tells the EC that in carrying out its work, if it wants things to be done in a particular way, then it goes for a CI, and then it relies on that to do it.
So
what it means is that, I mean, the EC cannot, for example, change the rules when the law does not apply for it. But things like this, to enhance transparency.
To enhance transparency,
I think it was a good arrangement. Who will go to court and say that the EC is breaching the law?
That's what I'm saying. There's no law to even be breaching.
What is being breached?
Because there's no law that says that you should not allow people to be there. You understand? And the Electoral Commission needs to understand that its independence ends at the responsibility of the political parties. It is the responsibility of the political party to ensure that it is not cheated in the electoral process. It is its responsibility.
Because the question I asked myself, analyzing the issues this early morning, was that, so is the EC saying that if the CI did not make provision for party agents to be at the registration centers, it would have prevented them from being there on the basis of the pockets of violence that occurred during the registration exercise?
Clearly.
Would they have done that and said that their presence
is creating the violence?
Their presence is engendering violence, so stop them. Yeah. Would they have done that if their presence was not in the law?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, clearly, what they did, that memo that they issued, was not well thought through. It has rather gone to create more mistrust for them. And I mean, this was also an agreement around a table at IPAC. And what do you call it? The memo was issued a day before another IPAC meeting. That was Monday. Yesterday, there was an IPAC meeting. There was to be
it was an emergency.
No, it was scheduled. I was told it was a scheduled IPAC meeting.
I thought it was
no, I was told it was a scheduled IPAC meeting. Okay. So if you were going to have an IPAC meeting on Monday, why did you have to rush on Sunday to issue that statement? You could have waited on Monday at that scheduled IPAC meeting to discuss the pockets of violence.
Because they probably were scared that it would degenerate.
Yeah, but you see, that is where you bring in the security, like you did during the limited registration.
Yeah, the question really that I ask myself is that if for this transfer of votes and there are pockets of violence, and we have security agencies who are supposed to deal with this issue, and even with this one, we are creating the impression that the security agencies
is unable to deal with
the law enforcement agencies cannot deal with the issue. Then what about election day itself?
I'm very curious.
Do you understand what I'm saying? What about election day itself? Because some of these things are also a test for us to show the readiness of the agencies and to also let everybody, the agent provocateurs and those who intend to do something, see. This is an opportunity for us to demonstrate that look, if you play the fool like we intend to be resolute, we intend to ensure that nobody mars the thing, we intend to ensure that I mean, the rule of law is adhered to, that we take people through due process if you do these things. But if, with this little thing, you say that, then recourse is that nobody should come there. How do I even get assurance that then on election day, when you have things happening across the length and breadth of this country, we'll be able to contain them?
So
Randy, I just want to end, maybe before Doc comes in, I just want to end by commending our party executives and our party rank and file for their determination and commitment to ensure that this year's election, is done free of any intimidation.
That could be described as unlawful or lawless conduct.
No, Randy. In fact, it is what the late founder of our party, God bless his soul,
positive defiance,
used to describe as positive defiance. Because you see, that's why I said that the independence of the Electoral Commission, they must understand that their independence ends at the responsibilities of the political parties. So it is the political parties' responsibility to ensure that it is not cheated. And they do so without breaking any law. And there's no law that says that they cannot monitor transfers. So if they decide to monitor transfers, they are carrying out a responsible function, which is not against any law. So if the Electoral Commission, wants to stop them from monitoring it, then they are extending their independence into the responsibilities of the political parties. Are you getting the point I'm making? The political parties are not there to interfere or to take up the job of doing the transfers. No, we are not. They are independent. They should do their work. But we are stakeholders. And so we have the responsibility to ensure that their work does not affect us. And there's no law that says that we cannot come and monitor. So if they say we shouldn't come and monitor, they are rather being unlawful. They are acting, illegally. And our defiance must be seen as a positive one. That is to ensure that our electoral process remains transparent, it remains fair, And we are not stopping any other political party from also monitoring the exercise. In fact, we encourage all the other political parties to do same. And I just once again want to commend our party, rank and file, for standing their ground across the country, because I monitored the northern region, and in all the constituencies, at all the district offices, our party members were there. They were resolute, and they stood their grounds and ensured that the process was monitored yesterday, even though the Electoral Commission tried to stop them.
May I ask this, that in monitoring as a political party during this exercise, what is the end game for any party? I'm just curious. For instance, if I've gone to Ayawaso West today to do a transfer so that I can vote for Lydia Al-Hassan, December, when I get that done and I leave, how is your presence there going to change?
Let me tell you how.
I'm just curious.
Yes, let me tell you how. For example, I know, and maybe you also know, but you may not agree to it, that the ruling party have done a number of research, and many of their research shows that they have lost or they are losing the December elections.
But you did that in government, and you thought you won. You were going to win. Did it work? Did it work?
Now wait. I'm saying that.
No, I'm asking you.
I'm saying that the research that they have done shows that they are losing or they have lost the thing.
2016.
Now their hope is on engaging in this gerrymandering at the constituency levels.
I beg to differ.
Hoping that they can annex some important seats that can help them, massage the numbers when it comes to the presidency. And that's why I agree with His Excellency President Mahama that no amount of machinations will change that. But to your specific question, you see, when the parties are present, they are able to tell if you satisfy all the conditions precedent before a transfer is done for you.
So you don't have faith in the EC officers who do that?
I mean,
no, that's what
the Americans say, in God we trust.
Not in man.
And everything else you verify. There's nothing wrong with trusting somebody and still verifying. There's nothing wrong with that. And so we are simply there to ensure that if you are going to do a transfer, you are qualified to do it, because there are rules governing the transfer.
I agree with you.
If, for example, if you registered only in May, you can't do a transfer.
No,
if there's a corrupt EC official, not all of them are corrupt, decide to do it for you for whatever purpose, the parties must be there to stop that. You need some proof of residence, like water bills, lights bills, I'm told, and all of that to prove.
I know the requirements.
Now, if the parties are not there and a crooked EC official decides to do it for people who are not qualified, who don't have these things, how will
in fact, during the limited restriction,
how will we know?
The issue that happened up there, where we're told that the EC itself issued a statement and said that the police, they had arrested. It was a party agent who brought to the notice of police the place where about some 12 or 13 people were registered with the same
with the same
Ghana card
number.
Yes.
I mean, so
this was done by an officer of the EC, and it took the vigilance of a party
agent to expose that, and then the EC acted. So this monitoring helps all of us.
Thank you all viewers for staying tuned. We really appreciate your time. Without you, PENDREAM TV is nothing. We also urge you to turn on your notification bell so that you stay tuned for all the exciting news that will be uploaded onto the channel. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.